The success story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Few names in world sport carry as much weight, admiration, and inspiration as Cristiano Ronaldo. Born into poverty on the Portuguese island of Madeira, he rose to become one of the greatest footballers the world has ever seen and one of the highest paid athletes on the planet. His story is not simply about football. It is a story about hunger, discipline, sacrifice, heartbreak, and an unshakable will to be the best that anyone has ever been. Cristiano Ronaldo's life proves that talent alone is never enough. It is relentless hard work, unwavering self-belief, and a refusal to accept limits that turn a dream into reality. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, in Santo Antonio, a poor parish in Funchal, the capital of Madeira. He was the youngest of four children born to Maria Dolores dos Santos Aveiro, a cook, and Jose Diniz Aveiro, a municipal gardener who also worked as a part-time kit man for a local football club. His parents named him Ronaldo after United States President Ronald Reagan, who happened to be his father's favorite actor and political figure. From these humble beginnings, nobody could have imagined that this small boy from a struggling household would one day become one of the most recognized faces on earth. Ronaldo's childhood was shaped by financial hardship. His family lived in a cramped house with a tin roof, and there were many times when they could barely afford life's basic necessities. His father battled alcoholism, which added emotional strain to an already difficult home life. Yet even amid these struggles, young Cristiano discovered an escape and a passion in football. He played barefoot in the streets with friends, using rolled-up socks or anything round when a proper ball was not available. Even then, his talent was impossible to ignore. He was faster, more skillful, and more determined than almost anyone his age, and he treated every street match as though it were a final. Football was not merely a game to him. It was his ticket out of poverty, and he pursued it with an intensity far beyond his years. At the age of 8, Ronaldo joined Andorinha, a small local club where his father worked. His obvious gift for the game quickly drew attention, and by the time he was 10, he had moved to Nacional, one of the biggest clubs in Madeira. Even at that young age, his competitive fire was extraordinary. Coaches and teammates often described him as intensely focused, to the point of frustration whenever his team lost, because winning meant everything to him. He could not tolerate mediocrity, not even in a schoolyard match. In 1997, at just 12 years old, Ronaldo left his family behind and moved to mainland Portugal to join the youth academy of Sporting Clube de Portugal, one of the most respected football academies in Europe. This was an emotionally difficult transition for such a young boy. He came from a close, loving, but poor family, and suddenly he was living far away from his mother, father, and siblings. He experienced deep homesickness, and it is said that he often cried alone at night, missing the people he loved most. To make matters harder, Ronaldo was diagnosed as a teenager with a racing heart condition known as tachycardia, which required a minor surgical procedure. Some feared this might threaten his budding career before it had truly begun. However, Ronaldo underwent a laser treatment for the condition and recovered quickly, returning to training within days, a small but telling sign of the physical resilience and mental toughness that would define his entire life. Despite these emotional and physical challenges, Ronaldo thrived at Sporting. His work ethic set him apart from every other talented boy in the academy. While his peers relaxed during their free time, Ronaldo could often be found practicing long after sessions had ended, sharpening his weaker foot, improving his heading, and working on his sprint speed. He refused to let any part of his game remain underdeveloped. By the age of 16, he had made his professional debut for Sporting's first team, offering an early glimpse of the superstar he would soon become. In 2003, a defining moment arrived when Sporting played a friendly match against Manchester United to mark the opening of their new stadium. The teenage Ronaldo dazzled the experienced United squad with his blistering pace, dazzling dribbling, and fearless confidence. It is widely reported that United's own players urged their manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to sign him immediately after witnessing his performance. Ferguson agreed, and Manchester United signed the 18-year-old for around £12 million, making him the most expensive teenager in English football history at that time. He was handed the number 7 shirt, a jersey once worn by legends such as George Best and David Beckham, a symbol of the enormous expectations now resting on his shoulders. His early years in England were promising but inconsistent. He was flashy and occasionally accused of excessive showboating, yet he had not fully developed the end product that would later define his greatness. Sir Alex Ferguson, however, saw something rare in him and worked closely with the young Portuguese star to refine his game, urging him to combine his natural flair with genuine end product. This mentorship changed everything. Ronaldo transformed himself from a tricky, unpredictable winger into a ruthless goal-scoring machine through relentless extra training on his shooting, heading, and finishing. The results were staggering. In the 2007-08 season alone, he scored 42 goals across all competitions, won the Premier League Golden Boot, lifted the UEFA Champions League with Manchester United, and claimed his first Ballon d'Or award, cementing his place among the finest players on the planet. Over 6 years at Manchester United, he won 3 Premier League titles and 1 Champions League crown, evolving from a promising young talent into a genuine global superstar. In 2009, Ronaldo signed for Real Madrid in a then world record transfer worth around £80 million. The pressure that came with such a fee was enormous, especially as he now found himself locked in a fierce, career-long rivalry with Barcelona's Lionel Messi, a rivalry that would come to define an entire era of football. In Real Madrid, Ronaldo reached heights that few players in the history of the sport have ever touched. He became the club's all-time leading goal scorer, surpassing legendary figures from Real Madrid's storied past. Across 9 seasons at the Santiago Bernabeu, he scored more than 450 goals in barely more than 430 appearances, an almost unbelievable ratio for a player who was never purely a traditional striker. His trophy collection grew immensely during this period, including 4 UEFA Champions League titles, 2 La Liga championships, 2 Copa del Rey trophies, and 4 additional Ballon d'Or awards. He also broke the all-time Champions League scoring record, a mark he continues to hold to this day. What made his time in Madrid so remarkable was not simply the silverware, but his extraordinary consistency. Season after season, he delivered 40, 50, even 60 goals across all competitions. This consistency stemmed directly from a legendary work ethic. Teammates and coaches have often spoken about his almost obsessive dedication to fitness, nutrition, sleep, and recovery. He reportedly trains for hours after regular team sessions end, works closely with personal fitness experts, follows an extremely strict diet, and treats his body like a finely tuned machine that must never be neglected. This professionalism is a major reason he was able to maintain elite performance well into his late 30s and beyond, defying the natural aging curve that eventually slows down almost every professional athlete. No account of Ronaldo's career would be complete without mentioning his rivalry with Lionel Messi. For more than a decade, the two players pushed each other toward greater and greater heights, dominating the Ballon d'Or and redefining what the football world believed was possible. Although often portrayed as a personal feud, The rivalry was really a competition of excellence, each man inspiring the other to score more, win more, and demand more of himself. Their duel brought unprecedented global attention to football and turned both men into transcendent icons admired even by fans of rival clubs and casual observers who otherwise paid little attention to the sport. In 2018, at the age of 33, an age when many footballers begin a gentle decline, Ronaldo made the bold decision to leave Real Madrid and join Juventus in Italy for around 100 million euros. Many considered the move strange given his age and success in Spain, but Ronaldo wanted to prove himself in a new league and help elevate an ambitious club toward greater European success. At Juventus, he continued scoring prolifically, helping the club win 2 consecutive Serie A titles, an Italian Super Cup, and a Coppa Italia, while also claiming the league's top scorer award. His time in Italy demonstrated that his greatness was not confined to a single style of football or a single footballing culture, it was universal. In 2021, Ronaldo made an emotional return to Manchester United, the club where his professional journey had first begun. Fans were thrilled to welcome their hero home. This chapter, however, proved difficult as the team struggled to compete for major honors, and Ronaldo eventually found himself at the center of public disagreements with the club's management. His contract was terminated by mutual consent in 2022. This period offered an important reminder that even legends encounter setbacks and criticism. What truly defined Ronaldo, though, was not this brief low point, but his response to it.